The camera opens on a grand auditorium. A young man, Ethan Miller, stands alone on a stage in New York, holding a shiny award for Youth Mental Health Advocate of the Year. Cameras flash, people cheer, but Ethan's eyes, they tell a different story. A story of pain, a story of loneliness, a story of a boy who was never meant to survive, yet somehow learned how to fly. Camera zooms slowly into his eyes. Flashback begins. Ethan Miller wasn't always the confident young man standing under those golden lights. A few years earlier, he was just another quiet kid in a crowded American high school trying desperately to disappear. He walked through hallways with his shoulders low, headphones on, hoping nobody noticed him. But bullies always noticed the quiet ones. It started with whispers, then jokes, then humiliation. One morning, as Ethan opened his locker, a group of boys pushed him into the metal door. Jason, their tall, arrogant leader, smirked and said, "Hey look, it's the school's official punching bag." The hallway echoed with laughter. Ethan felt his heart sink deeper than ever before. He tried to hide his trembling hands, but the fear controlled him like a puppet. Every day became a battlefield. Every bus ride felt like a prison sentence. Every lunch break felt like torture. He started skipping meals, started avoiding people, started believing that maybe he really was weak. At home, his mother noticed his fading smile. "Ethan, is everything okay?" He always answered the same. "Yeah, Mom, I'm just tired." But he wasn't tired. He was drowning. One rainy evening, Ethan ran straight home after being shoved into a puddle while the bullies laughed and recorded him on their phones. He rushed to his room, closed the door, and cried silently, shaking, suffocating in his own tears. He looked in the mirror and whispered, "Why me? What did I do wrong?" His reflection stared back, broken. But then something unexpected happened. His little sister, Leah, just 7 years old, stepped inside the room. She hugged him tightly and said, "Ethan, you're my hero. Don't let anyone break you." Those words hit him harder than the bullying ever did. A spark lit inside him, a spark he didn't know existed. The next morning, he made a decision. No more silence, no more hiding, no more running. He walked into school, still scared, but something inside him had shifted. Instead of avoiding eyes, he looked straight ahead. And for the first time, Ethan went to the school counselor. He opened up, told everything. Every insult, every punch, every scar. The counselor listened, not with pity, but with respect. She connected him to a support group, other teens who had survived bullying. For the first time, Ethan didn't feel alone. Ethan joined a local gym, started training, started building confidence, not muscles, confidence. He met Coach Harris, a retired UK martial arts trainer living in the US. The coach looked at Ethan and said, "You don't need strength to fight them. You need strength to fight your own fear." Ethan trained for months. Sweat, pain, discipline. He learned focus. He learned courage. He learned the hardest lesson. You cannot control others, but you can always control yourself. Slowly, he transformed. One afternoon, the bullies cornered him again in the hallway. Jason shoved him, but this time, he didn't fall. Jason laughed. "Haha, look who grew some backbone." Ethan didn't punch him. He didn't yell. He simply said, "I'm done being afraid of you." The hallway went silent. The calm in Ethan's eyes shocked them more than any fight ever could. That day, the bullies backed off. Not because he defeated them, but because he defeated the version of himself that once believed he was powerless. Months passed, and Ethan gained confidence. He joined school events, volunteered at mental health workshops, and stood up for others who felt invisible. He created a small club called Rise Above, anti-bullying group. What started with 4 students soon grew to 40. His stories spread to UK and European youth groups. He was invited to speak at seminars. Teenagers from London, Manchester, and Birmingham wrote to him, "Your story saved me. You made me believe in myself. I finally asked for help because of you." Ethan had become a hero, not because he won or fought back, but because he survived, and then helped others survive too. The flashback ends. We return to the auditorium. Ethan stands on stage, holding his award. He looks at the audience and says, "I used to think bullies were the strongest people in school. But the truth is, the strongest people are those who rise after being broken." If you're being bullied, your story isn't over. Your pain is not your identity, and you are never, ever alone. The audience gives a standing ovation. Ethan smiles. Not because he won an award, but because he finally became the hero his younger self needed.